Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Bibi Schadegg, Emerald Ambassador with Plexus, and I am super, super excited to be talking to you about Edge, our newest product with Plexus. One of the things I want you to understand, if this is your first training call, is that in Plexus, we are big about three things. And pretty much every product that we bring to our line of products, it kind of relates or kind of lines up with the philosophy that health is connected to three things. And we're talking about blood sugars, gut health, and decreasing cellular inflammation. So for gut health to happen and for blood sugars to be stable is key, but also when those two things are working properly, we're gonna have less inflammation. With Edge, and we're so big about Plexus Slim, and that the key ingredient with Plexus Slim is chromium polynicotinate, and that ingredient is just like the biggest, supporter of insulin sensitivity in your body. So if you have issues with keeping your blood sugar stable, that this supplement is gonna come in and it's gonna help you balance blood sugars. I always talk about energy production when I talk about blood sugar. So I don't want you to think all of a sudden, okay, I have Edge, I'm gonna get my energy with Edge. What happened to blood sugars? Blood sugars is the foundation to creating clean fuel for your body. Insulin, the role of insulin is bringing that glucose that shouldn't be too high or too low, bringing it into the cells to be used for energy, right? So now, you eat clean, you exercise, you take Plexus, you take your pink drink, you're no big on coffee, so why would you need Edge? So this is when I got really fired up after I started putting all the pieces together and looking into the ingredients, because one of the, on the flip coin of energy production when it comes to glucose is what happens to the brain, what is happening in brain chemistry that gives us a sense of well-being. So a lot of us that love to exercise, that love to eat healthy, that take their Plexus products, still feel like we have those, we crash. We may need an extra cup of coffee, 3-4 times a week. The statistic says that about, like 90% of Americans drink something caffeinated every single day, like every single day. I think that includes Plexus ambassadors. If we don't have the pink, are we drinking tea? Are we drinking hot tea, cold tea, sodas, whatever? Hopefully we're not. But once in a while, even myself drinking my pink drink every day, I feel like I may have like what is called an energy crisis where you just dip. So let's move on what is it in Edge that may help you get over that bump and get your energy back? So the energy crisis, 85% of Americans say that they get up feeling tired. Do you get up, feeling tired still, even if you're plexing? Do your customers get up feeling tired? Is there something in the brain chemistry that may be tempering with the results that they may get from using our supplements? So this is where we're going to talk about our benefits of Edge, and I took this from the website. I will make the PowerPoint available to us. Healthy, sustained energy, sharper thinking, concentration and focus, improved mood. Actually, put a side note, some people say Edge makes me edgy. We'll talk about that later on. The cool thing about this product is how pure, how clean. It has 3 ingredients. It has a vast amount of research behind it. All the ingredients are clinically tested. We're going to talk about one in particular that has a patent pending, is 100% vegetarian and gluten-free, and that is more and more important because a lot more people are really in the gluten sensitivity crisis. I mean, that is an epidemic nowadays. So let's talk about the ingredients. This is easy: Theacrine, L-theanine, and natural caffeine. So one thing I wanted you to see here is that this Theacrine that is actually an Edge is the one that has the patent pending. And I was able to actually found the makers of our ingredients, and I was blown away. And I I went ahead and put the website on the presentation so you can look it up later on. And their focus was really actually getting people who were already healthier, people that were already performing well, performing better when it comes to focus, but also athletics. One of the things that's going to be important for us, especially on our team, because we have coaches, we have personal trainers, we have competitive athletes on our team, is that this substance, the caffeine, the theacrine, and the L-theanine are approved. There's nothing in this product that can ever be on the ban list, which it is exciting. I know many of you have voiced concern when you first bring a customer or a potential. Is this clean? Is this so clean that an athlete could use it without any issues? This is. So I will tell you this, I am just in love with the science behind this product. Let's talk about the ingredients. Theacrine, where does it come from? How is it different from caffeine? You say there's theacrine and then caffeine on the product. The energy boosting abilities of this product are different because it does so much more than just give you the surge of caffeine. So it doesn't have jitters. It changes, it interferes with the path of two very important neurotransmitters, dopamine, and we're going to talk about dopamine in a few slides in the future, and also adenosine, or adenosine. I call it adenosine, but anyways. So why is it different from caffeine? So it kind of acts like caffeine, but it's different. So the difference is that this comes from tea leaves. And this kind of caffeine or theacrine does not, I repeat, build a tolerance in the body. Most of us, including myself, that were caffeine addicts in the past, before Plexus, we started with 1 cup of Joe. And then that cup of Joe turned into a double espresso. And then we needed 2. And then we made it stronger. And then you were drinking 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee a day to just get that same response, chemical response, essentially, because caffeine is a stimulant. It's natural, but it's a stimulant that we got with our first cup of Joe. Why? Because we build tolerance. We will now build tolerance to this product. And you know how I know that's to be true? Because you can take this product and you can stop taking it without the caffeine withdrawals. How do I know that? Well, obviously, I was in bed most of last week. I did not take Edge. I had no desire to take Edge. I was able to take it off, quit taking it. No caffeine, headaches, nothing. With our other products as Accelerator and Boost, that was not the case. So the caffeine and the theacrine work very well to make it so your body can take it, respond to it, but not build a tolerance to it. Okay, having said that, why does it not lead to the crash that caffeine usually leaves us with? We feel the caffeine 45 minutes into the caffeine, and we'll talk about it later. We feel the rush, the edge, we're focused, and then you're like, oh. Well, part of the issue is that most people, when they take caffeine, there's sugar involved. So we're tampering with the whole glucose cycle and insulin. And that is not the case with this product. I will tell you, please share this product with your friends that are energy drinkers, those energy drinks, because it has the sugar. It tampers with their energy production, and this will not. Okay, so athletes can take this as a pre-workout, and I know there's some of you that are probably like already doing it and thinking like, this is amazing. However, because of the release, the half-life of caffeine, I recommend you take it about 45 minutes, even an hour and a half before your workout, so you feel the full effect because of the way theacrine works. Studies show that theacrine and caffeine, when they work together, they make this synergetic, amazing between the two and really enhance athletic performance. They enhance the efficiency of caffeine. That could be that makes it last longer. I believe that is the case with this product. But beyond that, you don't get the crash that most caffeinated drinks or caffeinated products leave you with. So what else I could tell you about the difference? One of the things that this product does that caffeine does not, and I'm talking about the ingredient theacrine, is that most of the time caffeine leaves you, like once it kicks in your body, it's very hard to wind down. And I'll tell you later on why. And it's because of how it competes with another receptor. With Theacrine, that is not the case. So caffeine is easily absorbed, easily processed, but it doesn't linger as much when it comes to relaxing. So you can be very productive, feel productive to 11:30 p.m. and then when it's time to lay down, you may still have that mechanism of relaxation not being impacted by the caffeine. I know this is a lot of science, but you guys, I got so many messages following convention over this product and what it was doing with people, and nobody had answers. And really, I hadn't had time to go back and really look and dig deep as I did to prepare to this call. So it is wonderful, and there's way to tweak it, taking it, so you kind of maximize the results. Okay. So why does it do what it does? Okay, we're going to talk about dopamine. And the slides are going to be up there. Hopefully you're seeing them. If not, the presentation will be on our page. But one of the things that Theacrine does is that it kind of messes with your brain chemistry in a good way. Okay, one of the things that it messes with is the neurotransmitter dopamine. Okay, dopamine affects your emotions, affects your sensations, pleasure, pain. It's located deep in the region of your brain called the substantia nigra. So it's deep in the brain, hidden. And I was thinking as I was researching this, God has such a sense of humor that, you know, he put in our very core of our being, our gut, and serotonin. 90% of your serotonin is made there. And then in the core of our brain, in the deep, deep, deep of our brain, he put dopamine. You know, it's there because it's important. And it's produced in the brain versus serotonin being produced in the gut, the majority of it. And there's 5 dopamine receptors. So now, when there's too little dopamine in the body has a hard time regulating everything from emotions to our ability to focus on a task, accomplishing it at a task, being motivated to even start the task. And as I was typing this PowerPoint, I went and watched a video of one of my friends, one of our Plexus ambassadors, Andrea, and she's literally describing to the T what is happening, what dopamine is doing, and what I will say, increased uptake of dopamine is happening in her brain, and it's because of Edge. So she definitely got her Edge back. A lot of the signs and symptoms of low dopamine are very similar to clinical depression. So the bad news is that there is a decrease in dopamine as we age. And dopamine regulates a lot of things, a lot of aspects of our metabolism. So the bad news is that there is no way for you to slow down the fact that you're going to have a decrease in dopamine in your brain. The good news, you know, and I think the studies say that 6 to 7%, it decreases by 6 to 7% per decade. But the good news is there are things that you can do to kind of uptake your, you know, kind of bump up or boost your intake of dopamine or your receptors for taking more. Okay, I put several articles that go in details of how does it do it. Understand that dopamine has an enormous job to regulate your mood, behavior, sleep, cognition, and it's also associated with motivation and reward. A lot of people have heard of dopamine because they've read about addiction and addictive tendencies, and they know that drugs like cocaine, when they study, you know, the brain patterns of people that are addicted to drugs or sugar or even gambling, their dopamine levels are extremely high. We don't want to get you there, but we want you to get your edge back. So this is, you know, a neurotransmitter that is as responsible for you being happy as it is serotonin in your gut. Okay, so people that are plexing, you guys, and still they can't get their edge, they can't get their, you know, the ducks in a row, they may be deficient in dopamine. So a lot of people that are, I will call them downers, a little bit on the depressive side, I noticed that they're highly addictive to caffeine. Yet they don't present the caffeine model. They're not hyper or, you know, loud. They drink a lot of coffee, but they're downers. They may be low in dopamine. I'm not a doctor. I'm just teaching you on the ingredients. So don't quote me on this, right? Okay, so what does Edge do? Edge makes it possible for your body to have more dopamine available and less adenosine. And adenosine, you have to understand this because I think this little sucker right here, adenosine, is responsible for some of us, not me, but I got a lot of messages of people getting sleepy with Edge. So let's talk about Theacrine. It boosts dopamine levels, but in that pathway of boosting dopamine, there's another pathway is affected, and it's adenosine. So you guys, I'm not rambling. There's clinical studies proving this, and the fact that they are make me giddy. I'm so nerdy. So when adenosine is affected, it's the other side of the coin. Okay, so here is motivation and getting it done, and on the other side is adenosine. And what adenosine does, essentially, picture this little floaties. Okay, just picture those little particles floating in the body. And as the day goes on, okay, so in the morning you have less adenosine available in receptors, and as your day goes on and you wear out, you know, there's more and more adenosine in the body. That's the natural pattern, how God made us, okay? Well, a lot of us are a little wacky, and we don't have, that's not how it works. You get up and you're just as tired as you are when it's going to bed. So, and I know some people that are like that. They get up and they're not ready to get up. They have no energy in the morning, no energy at night. So they may have too much adenosine, you know, literally. And all the receptors are available, and you can read about that. And it's all, I've taken it, and that's what's happening. You're in a state of relaxation, or, you know, just ready for sleep. Because what the body does as our adenosine levels increase through the day is that we need to be ready to wind down. So what happens here? So adenosine plays an important part on that role for relaxing, for chilling. I hate using the word promoting fatigue, but I wanted to use it because you are going to have those people who feel extremely tired. So it's not that they feel relaxed. They're like, girl, I need Edge because I am as fatigued in the morning as I am at night. So you may want to tell them, do you know what? You already tried the pink drink. Your blood sugars are cool. You're still tired. Try Edge. And I cannot wait until we get samples. We don't have them available yet. But you guys, there's a 60-day money-back guarantee on this product. If they don't like it, if they try for 2 weeks and they don't like it, and you'll hear what I want them to try for at least 2 weeks, then they can return it, get their money back. That's the beauty of Plexus. Okay, so here's what happens. Caffeine, and there is caffeine here. Caffeine competes for the adenosine receptor. So those little floaties cannot bind and tell your body, hey, chill, relax. So there's caffeine here, right? There's theacrine kind of exciting the dopamine receptors and say, take more, right? And then the caffeine is competing for those receptors. Here's what's happening, and this is my theory. I may be wrong. I did not make the product, but it just makes sense, okay? It just makes sense that those people who, right, are getting sleepy are already kind of high on adenosine to begin with, okay? So they're already kind of don't have a lot of energy. Maybe they do, but they really need the benefits of Edge, but somehow they're not getting them. They're like, Bibi, I wanted to just fall on my face. I got the messages. What is going on? I believe it's because the caffeine, okay, in this product is quickly binding, right, to the receptors and not allowing the dopamine to have the effect. Remember, it's a two-way street with the dopamine and adenosine. So and this is my theory, if you know someone who got sleepy and say, I can't take this, first of all, I will encourage them to give it a good 2 weeks. But first of all, I will say, taking it later in the day and first caffeinate. So most of the times we say, hey, if you take Edge until you know how it works, kind of avoid caffeinated drinks. If you're getting the sleepy effect, caffeinate, because caffeine is going to bind to those adenosine receptors earlier on. And when the caffeine from Edge hits your body, it can do what it's supposed to do, which is help you feel energized and focused and all the good stuff. So hopefully I'm not confusing you, but if there is a case of someone getting tired on edge, it has to do with adenosine. I'm putting the research down here. You can read it and you can try two things. Take something caffeinated before you take the edge and take it later in the afternoon, or take it earlier in the day and then caffeinate later in the afternoon. What I think is happening is there's too much adenosine floating, too much for even one capsule of caffeine. Bibi, could I take two? Actually, after reading what I've read, I think if you're having the sleepy effect of edge, I highly recommend you take two. Every day, no. I think once your body adjusts and your dopamine start kind of raging and you start feeling good, you're not going to need two. You're going to need one. Okay, moving on. Whew, gosh, I talk so. Okay, L-theanine. Okay, so this is an amino acid and it's found primarily in green tea leaves, and it helps promote memory, enhance concentration, your ability to learn, but also has a calming effect. So here's the other thing. Some people, especially people, I mean, you probably know this if you have ADD. Caffeine works kind of the opposite of what it does in most folks, and it has to do with your adenosine levels, your dopamine levels. It has to do with how your brain works. We're not going to argue. God made you this way. It's beautiful. So give the product time to work, okay? Your body will not build a tolerance to the products. Actually, your body will get adjust to the chemistry in the product and function better once you give it time. But a lot of people just 3 days and they quit. So anyways, this compound can pass through the blood barrier within 30 minutes, which it gives it the fast acting effect that Edge has. Some people take, I could take Boost, nothing, okay? I could take Accelerator Plus, and for the first, I don't know, week, I didn't feel anything. I took one Edge, you guys. The first day I felt it, and I'm not someone who's sensitive to caffeine. Why is it? It's because how quickly theanine crosses the brain barrier and makes these ingredients readily available to you. Okay, so it's supposed to give you an edge without anxiety. Thank you, theanine, for that, okay? It's supposed to give you focus without making you feel like, some caffeine drinks, you're like, whoo, 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 you feel like you're a meth. Not this one, and I think it's because of L-theanine and how this and Theacrine and caffeine work together. It should be used with caution in patients with high blood pressure. Why is it that? Because first of all, you should use products that have caffeine, even Red Bull or something like that, with caution with anyone that has high blood pressure. But in this case, it's because of the opposite effect. So Plexus Slim does this too. It actually, when you balance blood sugars, right, guess what happened? The arteries can relax, because high blood sugars are more they're more irritant to your arteries and circulatory system that fat will ever be. So, sorry. Theanine, it actually has the effect that relaxes the vessels, which is really unique. You guys, I love this ingredient. So it could actually decrease blood pressure. So if you have someone, and a lot of patients, they're the worst, they take blood pressure medication every day and they never check their blood pressure, this is going to help them because it's going to relax the vessels. You know how I told you, it gets absorbed so quickly? This is a great ingredient. Okay, so L-theanine could be responsible for some people getting tired or sleepy on edge. Once again, Bibi, we have an Edge product. Why do they put this ingredient that actually promotes relaxation? You guys, the science behind this product is amazing, and it works synergistically. The ingredients work synergistically. Caffeine alone, without this too, you get this rush, and then you'll be low. But theanine makes it possible for the caffeine to be absorbed, for the body to be in a relaxed, focused state. Once again, if adenosine is already high to begin with, and caffeine has no bound to those little floaty, the floaties are just too much adenosine, the receptors are wide open, and L-theanine hits it first, you may feel relaxed. So this is the case. If you're sleepy, try some caffeine until your body gets used to the product, until your balance of dopamine and adenosine improves, and then you won't need any more. Okay, Edge is very unlikely to cause adrenal fatigue. You want to know why? Because of L-theanine. Our previous two products that, that Accelerator Plus and especially Boost, because of the amount of caffeine they had, and really the stimulation that they cause in your body, they're stimulants. We always tell people take a break, especially those that are prone to thyroid issues, adrenal fatigue, yada, yada, yada. Because of L-theanine, I don't believe that will be the case. I'm not a physician. I'm just training you the best I can, but I believe that this is a product that you'll be able to use long term, and you don't have to worry about your adrenals because of the L-theanine. Okay, let's talk about caffeine. I have like 2 minutes. Caffeine is considered a natural stimulant. Let's start with that. Why do I say that? Do you take stimulants on an empty stomach? Well, if you're not sensitive to caffeine, I mean, I know people that can start right here. I was one, not anymore, not since I started Plexus. I cannot start my day with a double, triple espresso. I used to, you guys. But caffeine is powerful. I like to tell you, I work in the nursery, in the NICU. You use caffeine to resuscitate infants, people that can't breathe. I mean, babies that cannot breathe on their own, they have apnea. We use caffeine. It's a powerful drug. Café Robusta comes from green coffee beans that have not been roasted yet. Why do I tell you this? Because the potency is higher than roasted beans. So people may have that are not sensitive to caffeine, like myself, may have that edge with Edge. Why is it? It only has 1 cup of coffee. I can do better than that, and I get nothing. Why? Because these are green coffee beans. They have not been roasted. They're higher in chlorogenic acid, and they're higher in antioxidant properties too. Okay, it helps people lose weight. Chlorogenic acid from Café Robusta is proven to help people lose weight. And also allows the caffeine to stay in your body for a long time. So if you saw my other video on Edge, I told you caffeine has to be metabolized, right? And I told you half-life of caffeine varies, but hits your body 30 to 45 minutes, you should feel it. It should stay in your body for 4 hours. Sometimes it takes a little longer. I recommend it if you don't like the way you feel with Edge, that you eat. You eat with this product so you can metabolize it. You have fats on board, good carbs, good protein. You can metabolize a lot quicker. The liver kind of goes into, let's get this out of here quickly because there's fat, protein, and good carbs, maybe bad carbs. I don't know. But make sure you eat, okay? It may take longer for your body to break it down just because of the purity of it, okay? It's a clean, just think about it as a clean cup of coffee. The cleanest you'll ever had. Caffeine, once again, competes with adenosine receptor. And remember how I told you, just picture them floating around, looking for someone to make sleepy and relax. And they increase as the day wears off. They should be more and more in your body. Adenosine should increase. So caffeine competes with those. Ideally, what Block wants to do is, I take it at 2 p.m. Adenosine is starting to pick up. It binds to the receptor of adenosine and say, we're not going to relax. We're on proactive mode. We're going to get it done, okay? We're not ready for you to wind down. And I love it. I know that sounds kind of creepy. The Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, considers 400 milligrams of caffeine a safe amount to consume every day by an adult. I'll put this here because a lot of people, one of the questions that I got was, there's 90 milligrams, it's equivalent to a cup of coffee, actually more like a cup of decaf, but it's a pure quality. And then you have the helpers, the L-theanine and the Theacrine that are helping the caffeine to be maximized by your body. You have a product that's helping your dopamine receptors kind of rage and uptake more dopamine, and hopefully less adenosine so you can have more, get more done during the day. I say that the whole thing about caffeine consumption, you don't have to take a break from this. Like I said earlier, you can consume it forever. It's good. It's good. It's really, really good. Frequently asked questions. Ooh, I'm over 3 minutes. Can it be taken in the morning? You can take it anytime. My friend Jessica, she took it at 6 p.m. here at my house. She's not sensitive to caffeine. She worked until 1 in the morning, she was packing for moving, and she said, I got done in 2 hours. Incredible what I couldn't do in a week, because she was focused. She was just feeling good. She had her edge, and she went back to sleep. So that's going to depend. I tell people, start taking it in the morning. If you don't feel the edge, take it later. I love the way it makes me feel later in the evening. I feel like I'm, folding laundry at 11:30 and I'm feeling good. So take it whenever you want to. Try it out over the weekend. Now you know how it works. Now you know how the caffeine lingers a little longer. Now you know not to take it on an empty stomach. Can you take it with other Plexus products? This question is on our website. The answer is yes. And actually, it says you can take with all Plexus products. I will just put out a warning that you cannot tread lightly. I don't recommend that you take it with Accelerator Plus or Boost. Okay, I think that's a lot of caffeine in your system. And Boost and Accelerator Plus have other ingredients like hydrogenamine and other things that have a thermogenic effect. Honestly, I don't think you need those products. Now we know the role of this particular caffeine in performance, weight loss. We have the new block that has chromium picolinate that boosts, weight loss. I don't know if you'll need another one. The 5-HTP and the Accelerator Plus, people love it for the mood enhancement capabilities. Now we know that Edge has dopamine. No, it doesn't have dopamine. It has ingredients that, increase your dopamine uptake ability, and you're going to feel good. You're going to feel less tired. You're going to feel more motivated. You're going to feel really, really good. It's GMO free. It's not kosher, but it's vegetarian, and it's safe to take with coffee. I've had a couple of people that have actually caffeinated before they take their Edge, and they got the results they couldn't get before. So try it, play with it. Taking a cup of coffee is totally cool. Having your cup of tea is totally cool. And I think that's all I have for you guys. I'm going to open the call for questions. And let me just stop here, stop sharing, and stop recording.